Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, reports on Sangare leaving Forest this summer. Forest after another freebie striker. The Scum play Forest tonight. We'll do a quick preview. And a really tasty playmaker linked with Forest. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your Forest transfer news. Guys, plenty to discuss today, and of course, Forest will be playing scummy Millwall at 7 p.m. tonight with a delayed kickoff, and we'll have the watch along for you from 6:40. But if you're enjoying the content, as always, please don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Those of you, those 32% or whatever it is that are not subscribed, it's free to do. Click it. It's down there somewhere. And go grab your last couple of tickets for the Murillo signed framed LED shirt, because that closes today at 7:30 and there's a handful of tickets left. If you want a chance to win that beautiful looking frame with that beautiful looking man, now's the time to do it. So scan the QR code or click on the link in the comments. Okay, ladies and gents, we got to talk about some interesting stories and some stupid stories. And let's start with the stupid story. And this is the one on Sangare. Now, about a month ago, I think, or so, we saw links to Galatasaray with Sangare. There was talks that Forest wanted to cut their losses, all these BS reports. And now we're seeing Fenerbahce come in for him, or apparently coming in for him. But this report has a price on it. And it's 12 million plus 2 in add-ons. And it's literally come from some Twitter account that has less followers than Crypto Man. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. And let's just play this scenario out. Let's just say it's true and that Forest are willing to sell him and are willing to do it at a cut deal price. Forest would probably be the stupidest club in the world if they did this deal. Forest paid 30 million for Sangare. He was on a 5-year deal. His amortization on that is 7 mil a year. So Forest still owe 23 mil on him. Now, Forest have done nothing but good business so far this transfer window. So for them to go and then make a 12 million PSR loss would just be, well, 11 million PSR loss would be comical. It would be comical. It would undo all the good work that Forest have done. Look, I've been umming and ahhing whether or not to bring this report. There's another report as well on some other transfers. And it's just getting to that stage of the season where, because a lot of players are out in pre-season camps, journalists or wannabe journalists are just sitting there kind of making up reports, I guess. Now, I'm not saying necessarily this one's made up. Maybe they are interested. Maybe they want to test Forest resolve with a low ball deal. I mean, Nottingham Post picked this one up, and I love Sarah Clapson, but you do wonder sometimes in the rest of them there, the hell are they talking about? There's talks that the executives, I think they wrote in there, from Fenerbahce are going to fly into the UK to talk with Forest and talk with Palace, because Lerma, the ex-Bournemouth player who's at Palace, is another one that Jose Mourinho is interested in. I'm not giving this one any credence, guys, and I haven't even bothered to ask any of the people we know about it. I'm not going to waste my time or their time, but technically, I've just wasted your time, so I do apologize. But even, just logically think about it. If Sangare were to be sold, unless Forest have a 6 lined up, oven ready, Brexit deal style, to come in and take over, who have Forest got that can play the out-and-out 6 position? Now, don't say Yates, because Yates can play on the bench as far as I'm concerned. Don't say Danilo, he's more an 8 for me. Dominguez, not really. He's not got the... He's more all over the pitch. That's what I like about him. Mangala, yeah, probably, but we don't own him anymore. So to take out a chunk like that from the 6 and leave yourself with nothing just doesn't make sense. And I'm not seeing any links to other CDMs. By the way, we still need another CDM. What if Sangare gets injured? So at the moment, I'm brushing this one aside. If it develops, then fine. We'll ask the people that we asked to get clarification on it, but I'm giving it no credit. But what do you guys think? Is there no smoke without fire, or whatever the saying is? Let me know in the comments down below. Alrighty then, let's move on to the second story, and this is the story of Forest transfer window with strikers so far. Forest wants a striker, but we seem to only be linked with freebies right now. We had Che Adams, and thank you to Torino. I love you, Torino. I forgive you for Solenzi because you took Che Adams. You absolute idiots. So that one's dead in the water. And we've seen now Iheanacho being relinked with Nottingham Forest. Now this is coming from sources in Nigeria, so take from that what you will. But I'm not hearing anything about him being linked to Forest. In fact, I'm hearing stronger links to him to Crystal Palace than Forest. But put that to one side, because there have been murmurs and rumblings about Iheanacho and Forest for probably the last 12 months. I mean, we were linked to him last summer for about 20 million, as we told you a few weeks ago. There was these rumours about Forest and Villa being linked to him a few weeks back as well. And my stance on this hasn't changed. If this was this time last year, I'd be up for him. Now, I don't want freebie strikers. I want quality strikers. I want a striker who's going to come in, who's made of like iron, who's not going to break down like Taiwo or Chris Wood, and is going to be able to play like, I don't know, 28 to 33 games this season. I mean, they get paid enough, man. Surely the medical staff should make sure they're fine-tuned as well. Okay, we're not having the problems we had in the first season, and Nuno is a stickler for keeping players fit, which is a good thing. But the point here for me still remains that Forest need to get someone who's better than Chris Wood and better than Taiwo and can stay fit. Now, I get it. These lot don't grow on trees, man. We talked about this on Grumpy Old Red. Some of you are saying Ivan Toney. No one seems to be wanting him. 40 million, blah, blah, blah. Fine. But he's not going to come to Forest. Let's be realistic about that. There are definitely other options. We'll probably do an updated striker video to talk about the available strikers on the market currently. I mean, I'd get Washington, for example, the kid who Chelsea bought that Forest were linked to last year, who they've shipped out on loan, God knows where, I can't remember. I like him. In fact, I was very excited about him last season. Now, I'm not saying he's better than Taiwo or Wood, but you got to go in one of those two directions. Either you get a renowned striker or you buy a striker with potential. With Iheanacho, what you end up with is nothing, really, nothing. Now, there is the freebie brigade amongst you. I get that. I understand it. But it's not free because their signing on fees go higher when there's no transfer fee. Their wages requests go like ridiculous as well. And he's not really that much of a young buck. He's probably in his prime at 27. Yes, he's got Premier League experience. Would I take him over Che Adams? Of course I would. Would I take him over Antonio? Yeah, probably I would as well, but there's just too much risk involved for me. And he's just going to end up going to AFCON with Aina, with Taiwo, with half the rest of our squad every 2 years. So I'm going to say it. No more Africans for me, man. We got enough Africans, man. I got enough African heritage in my blood. I don't need to see them on the pitch now as well. In fact, I want to see them on the pitch, not going to freaking AFCON every 2 years. So that's my stance on him. But do you agree with me or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's give you a quick update ahead of the scummy Millwall game tonight. I know it's a friendly, but you know what? I make an exception when it's Millwall, and I want Forest to win this one. I don't care if we play crap today, as long as we beat them, so I can have the bragging rights against my old boss. Hope you're doing well, mate. It's been a while since we've spoken. Anyway, Forest have got a few players back. We've seen Sells return, and we've also seen, speak of the devil, Taiwo Awoniyi back and in Spain with the rest of the squad. Now, is he fit enough to play? I don't know, is the honest answer. I don't think anyone knows when it comes to Taiwo. I don't think Taiwo himself knows if he's fit and ready to, get onto the grass. So we're just going to have to wait and see on him. I think what we'll definitely see today is one half with Sells and one half with Miguel. I still get the feeling Miguel's going to get the #1 shirt, not get ahead of Sales. Matt Turner, there are some very loose links at the moment. Crypto, don't get too excited about him going probably to MLS or maybe somewhere in Europe, but he's still somewhat on the bomb squad. So we're going to see rotation amongst the keeper. But what I really want to see in this match is a 4-back formation. Nuno went 3 at the back both times, in both halves in the last game against Sunderland. And I got a funny feeling he may go 4-back in both halves this time just to test it out. Maybe he goes 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. I really want to see a 4-3-3. I would like to start now to see the nucleus of the team being put out on the pitch, even if it's for 45 minutes. I want to see Sangare alongside Anderson with Morgan Gibbs-White in front of them. Or if he goes in a 4-3-3, I'd like to see Sangare, Anderson and Danilo maybe as a 3 across midfield. And I want to see so badly Murillo and Milenkovic, Eminem baby, hi my name is, all that stuff, you know, just I want to lose myself watching those two play together. My God, there could be so many puns off the back of this one. So I want to see that partnership, and I will not say sorry mama, you know, if that part, okay, I'll stop. If I want to see that. And then Einar for me is locked down left back. Omar Richards looks good. I've got him ahead of Tuffalo, and we'll see some rotation. But Chris Wood is taking too much of the burden for me up front, and Dennis is not a #9. So again, going back to the striker's point, we have to address this, and we have to address this urgently. So I'm going to predict this is going to be Forest smashing Millwall like 7-0, man. This is going to be comfortable because Millwall are crap. And that's what I'm going with. And I don't care about the performance. Just beat the scum. What do you guys think? What's your score predictions for this one? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so let's move back and talk about the transfer links with Nottingham Forest. And this is off the back of Ben Jacobs' interview that we did with him yesterday. If you haven't checked those interviews out, make sure you do. I'll leave them on the end screen for you. The first part of the interview, or the first video, should I say, is about the Forest players and who's going to be leaving and who's going to be staying. Second part is about transfer links, new ones and the developing ones. Now, a lot of you have asked about Raquome. I ain't going to try and pronounce his name properly. I'm too tired. That one's very close. Go check what Ben Jacobs had to say about it. But I want to talk about another one that he kind of left field us with, and that was Luka Susic, who I really do like. And when he said his name, I was like, what? And this is a guy, for those of you who don't know, 21 years old, plays at RB Salzburg. He's Croatian. And as I think Ben Jacobs described him really well. A real good playmaker, but quite lanky, so he doesn't really look the profile of it. And in terms of his position, it's somewhere in between an 8 and a 10, really, for me. And he's very influential in their team. Let me give you some stats. He's had 82 appearances for them, 12 goals. And he's played for Croatia as well, 10 appearances for them. And as I said, quite tall at 6'1". Now, this is a player who drew a lot of interest in the past year or two from the likes of Man U, Liverpool, all the usual kind of big six players. And the fee for him isn't too bad. It would be somewhere around less than 15 million. As Ben Jacobs said yesterday, he's into his final year of his contract, and he doesn't, he's not shown them any signs of wanting to sign. And with them starting to get to that panic mode, they would rather get something than lose him for nothing, as the saying goes. So Forest have inquired about him. Now, let me just explain what that means. It's a bit like what we saw with Chelsea when they came in for Murillo. They didn't come in saying, hi, Mr. Marinakis, we would like to give you a bag full of money for Murillo. What say ye? No, it's basically the first step in a negotiation on a player is pick the phone up, or maybe a WhatsApp call. Who knows how they do it now? But they'll call up and just say, is this player available? What's his current status? Can we have a chat with him? You know, what are you guys saying? And so on and so forth. So it's like an informal discussion about the player, his role in the team, how long he's got left, have they got plans for him, etc. So it hasn't gone past that yet. And there are, as I mentioned, some interesting clubs who have been linked to him previously and some that are still currently monitoring him now. but Forest could end up snapping themselves up a really good deal here. Because he's in his last year of his contract, that 15 million euros could turn into 10 million euros, which is about £8 million. So let's see how this one develops. We'll keep tabs on it with Ben, see if he gets any sniff of it developing, etc. And we'll keep you posted. Now, does it really suit what Forest need currently? You could argue probably not. And this may smell of the old recruitment style, where Forest are just smelling a bargain and just can't resist it and have to go in for it. But this bargain is good. So if Forest do grab this one, I'm not that against it. Would you guys take him or not? Let me know down below. Guys, that brings you up to date with your latest Forest transfer news. And we will see you for the watch along at 6:40 tonight. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. See you at 6:40. Come on, you Reds.